a regression vacation. Tara, get down here and get your stuff in the car. We need to get to the airport. Right, Dad. Tara Jennings was 14 years old, but her birthday had only just passed. She had dark brown hair and deep blue eyes, but not done with makeup. Unlike most girls, her beauty meant she didn't need it. She was very popular at school, but this was not because of her beauty, but because she made everyone her friend. She made a point not to leave anyone out, not even the nerdiest nerds, and was very generous with hugs. She lived with her mother and father in a sleepy suburb of Newcastle in northern England. Today she and her parents were going on a vacation to the USA to see the sights and, much to her father's protest, go shopping in New York. She was buzzing with excitement. She rushed out the door and ran to the car. Mum will be waiting at the airport. The neighbors gave her a lift with some of the bags. Tara's dad said. Right. Tara replied. Now, what have we forgotten? Tara laughed. Hopefully, nothing. She smiled. Tara's mum and dad were both 29. They were 15 when they had Tara, and had to go to the same university to stop her from being taken into care, as they would not have been able to look after her by themselves. Luckily they had a good opportunity at Newcastle and ended up both becoming doctors at the General Hospital, meaning they could look after Tara. She was never a handful. Luckily she had never really done anything really bad except when she was 6 and attacked a boy in a class for saying she was ugly, and since that incident nothing major had happened. Once they got through the traffic to the airport, they found their flight had been delayed an hour and a half because their plane was stuck in Sofia. Someone had opened the emergency exit window and they couldn't get it closed again. Author's note: this really happened to me. We were stuck in Amsterdam airport for hours. Once the plane finally arrived and Tara and her dad met up with Tara's mum, the three of them at last made their way to gate 17 and waited for the plane boarding to open. Once it did, the airport bus ferried them and their fellow passengers over to the plane and they got on board. Tara made sure her iPod was on airplane mode and put it in her bag, which she slotted under her seat. She was sitting in a 3, in between her mother and father. The stewardesses began their pre-flight information. Hello, and welcome aboard this Jet2.com 7 flight to New York. We ask you at this time to direct your attention to the stewards and stewardesses who will run through the flight safety instructions. It is currently 12 degrees Celsius in New York and overcast. We apologize for the 1 hour 40-minute delay in the service and hope to make up an hour while in the air. Tara smiled. She had heard these briefings so many times before. Just 3 months ago she had gone skiing with her school, and again had a delay on the flight, but this was because Grenoble Airport had a mysterious shortage of plane wing deicer. As they taxied towards the runway, she said to her mum, "Let's hope there aren't any bombers on the plane." Her mum rolled her eyes and groaned at the joke. The plane began to accelerate. They lifted off the runway and began their journey to Newark Airport, flying out into the midday sun. Tara was steadily making progress across the Atlantic Ocean. Her flight, having left late, was making good time and was set to come in just 20 minutes behind schedule, having left 100 behind. The views out of the plane were astonishing, albeit very blue. People chatted, listened to music and worked on their laptops, and Tara played Guitar Hero on her iPod. They were about 3 hours out of New York when she needed the toilet. She went to the back of the plane and found long queues for the toilets and the same at the front. She began to grow desperate, and there were 4 people in the queue still in front of her. She started to worry. She now had her hands clutched to her waist area and her legs crossed over to stop herself from peeing right there on the spot. She was second in the queue when she could hold it no longer. She ran back down the plane to her seat as warm urine filled her panties and stained her trousers. She sat down and whispered to her parents. "Mum? Dad?" "Yes, darling." There was a massive queue for the toilet, Anne. I couldn't hold it in, and with this she started to cry. Her mother comforted her with a hug. "Don't worry, we'll sort you out in New York," she reassured. She could do nothing other than hug Tara as she wept in her arms. Tara was now feeling very self-conscious. She felt like every single person walking past was staring at the smelly wet patch, and she crossed over her legs to try and stop people from seeing it. Her mum tried to reassure her again but failed to make her feel any less paranoid than she already was, and it was a relief for Tara and her parents when they got off at Newark Airport. Having got through customs, they grabbed their bags off the reclaim and got a taxi to their hotel, which was nestled right near the center of the city. The family to their rooms and put their stuff in. Tara immediately took off her soaked panties and trousers and shuffled through her bag looking for spares. Shit, she thought. I forgot to pack underwear. She went next door to her mum and dad's room in pajama bottoms and explained the situation. Well, Tara, said her father, you have two options. You can either go commando until we can get you some from a shop, or you can wear these diapers until you get some underwear. We found 4 of these in one of the drawers. Tara scoffed, but her father pressed on, take these to your room and you can always wear them if you want underwear. Tara took them to her room, but threw them in a drawer which she wasn't using. She would have used her mum's underwear, but it was too small for her as her mum was 4 inches shorter than her. She stuck on a pair of jeans. She had bought loads of them, in fact, she hadn't needed to bring any others. As Tara walked around, wearing no underwear underneath the jeans, she felt incredibly uncomfortable. The jeans were coarse material and they were hurting the area around her vagina and bottom. She ignored it until after dinner but finally gave up. Even a diaper is better than this, she thought, pulling one out of the drawer which she had earlier thrown them into with such disgust. She took off her jeans and taped on one of the diapers. It was a baby's diaper, which made her feel really childish, especially when she looked in the mirror, but she was also surprised that it fit and at how it was not too bad at all. She put her jeans back on, cringing at the obviousness of the bulge, but was grateful that she was no longer experiencing the pain she had been feeling earlier. She watched a movie with her parents that night, who saw she was wearing the diaper but passed no comment, and then went to bed. However, she decided one thing before she went to sleep, to keep the diaper on. It was more pleasurable than expected. Her mum and dad were talking to each other in their room. Did you see Tara was wearing the diaper? Her mum asked. Yep, I didn't expect her to. Her jeans are really rough, they probably were giving her grief. I guess. Still, I could have sworn she was enjoying it, the way she kept feeling it. We'll see what happens. The next morning, Tara and her mother got up and went out shopping for some panties. Tara picked some especially kinky pairs of panties and took them back to the hotel. She had felt embarrassed when she was out because she was wearing a diaper, but nobody noticed or hid the fact they did notice, and she got back fine. She got to her room and was ready to take off her diaper, but before she did, she decided to try and wet it to see what it felt like. She needed the toilet, so she made sure the diaper was taped on tight before setting about wetting it. It took a few attempts, but finally she managed to release her bladder. She grinned as the diaper flooded with urine, and she loved every moment of it. She loved the wetness of the diaper against her skin. Once Tara got her diaper off and cleaned up, she took the diaper to the public trash and put on some of her brand new panties, which she could not deny also made her feel kinky as they were so skimpy, and put her jeans back on. She took the remaining 3 diapers and stuffed them into her bag. She was going to take them home with her. After a light lunch in the Starbucks nearby the hotel, Tara and her parents walked down to Central Park and enjoyed the summer day. That night they had dinner in the hotel cafeteria and afterwards had a game of Scrabble on the table in Tara's parents' room. Her dad went to bed and Tara and her mum talked. So, Tara, glad to get out of those diapers? Hell yeah. They were really embarrassing when we were out today. I can't believe no one noticed. Well, from what I observed last night, you were enjoying yourself in that diaper. Tara was taken aback with surprise and horror that her mother had twigged. I was just trying to shift it into a comfortable position, she exclaimed. Okay, said Tara's mum, skeptically. Tara headed back to her room and got ready for bed. She said goodnight to her mother and went back to her room. She then slipped on one of the diapers. Bliss, she thought, and she fell asleep only wearing the diaper. Wakey, said Tara's mum, pulling off Tara's quilt and seeing what she was wearing. A soaked diaper. Oh God! Tara screamed, pulling her quilt back over her, less because of the diaper, but more because it was soaked. It was dry when she went to sleep. I'm sorry, Mum, I'm so sorry, she sobbed. Her mum frowned. You have 3 things to explain, Tara Jennings. Firstly, why did you lie to me last night? Secondly, why are you wearing a diaper? Thirdly, why is it flooded with urine? Oh God, Mum. I was so embarrassed about liking the diapers I couldn't bear to tell you the truth. Secondly, I like the diapers and decided to wear it overnight. And thirdly, I wet the bed. Well, wetting the bed was probably an isolated incident, but I am not at all happy about this lying situation. I would have been fine with you liking diapers had you told me, and I am upset you didn't trust me. With that, Tara's mum walked back into her own room to discuss with Tara's dad what to do, leaving the 14-year-old to worry. If she likes them, then I have no problem with it, said Tara's dad, but she lied and she needs to be disciplined. I think I know what to do. Tara's parents strode into Tara's room. We have decided your punishment, said her mum. You are to wear diapers 24/7 for the rest of the holiday. You may use the toilet for number 2s and you may change yourself, however you must use them for urine, and if we catch you without a diaper on or urinating in the toilet you will wear diapers for all of the next half term at school, and be expected to use them. You will use the diapers we found here for now and I will go and get some straight after lunch. Tara nodded her understanding and her mother gave her one of the diapers. Tara was very relieved. Her punishment could have been a lot worse than it was and she enjoyed wearing and wetting her diapers. Her parents left and she diapered up. She then went for lunch with her mum and dad. While the family was having lunch, Tara began to need the toilet. Remembering her mother's instructions, she began to relieve herself into the diaper, which she enjoyed, but didn't show it. It was a quiet restaurant, and the people at the table next to Tara heard it, but were too polite to comment except for their 5-year-old son, who shouted, Mummy! Why is that big girl wearing diapers? Is she a baby? He walked over to Tara and pulled down her trousers just enough to reveal her diaper. Mummy! She wet her diaper as well. She needs a change. Despite the innocence of the child, and the bollocking the boy was now receiving from his mother, Tara burst into floods of tears and ran into the toilet, slamming the door behind her. Her mother waited about 5 minutes before following her in. Tara? Tara? Are you in here? Oh, sweetie. Tara was sitting on the floor of the toilet, crying her eyes out. Why did you have to do this to me? Tara, your father and I love you very much. You have to remember that there will be people like that, but they don't know any better yet. We are not trying to make you upset with this, we promise. Okay. Please be strong. The 3 went home and cancelled their afternoon museum trip. Tara's mum went out and got Tara a packet of Pampers Cruisers, which she had been using before, and a pack of Huggies Little Swimmers in the biggest size available, as the family were planning on going to the beach the next day. Unfortunately for Tara, her parents refused to change her punishment and she would have to wear swim diapers. She planned on just keeping a towel around her and hanging back under her parents' mini gazebo, but her parents had told her to behave as usual and not to let up because of the swim diaper. Tara had just sighed and agreed, as she was too tired to argue by that point, and decided just not to worry about it until the time came. Until then she would just have to get on with the holiday. She decided just to get some early sleep, so she got changed into her pajamas, changed and re-diapered herself and dropped off into a deep sleep. Tara woke up the next morning to a brilliantly sunny day. The diaper was dry, much to her relief, But she realized that she and her mum and dad would be going to the beach, meaning that loads of people would see her in a swim diaper. She wished she had swimming trunks instead of a bikini. About 11 the family set off by taxi. Tara already had her bikini top and swim diaper underneath her jeans and shirt to save changing at the beach. The taxi took a while to ferry them across to the beach because of the traffic jams, but at last they arrived. They paid the taxi driver his $20 fee and set off down to the beach. Tara was planning on keeping her t-shirt and trousers on, but the summer heat made that practically impossible. With a deep breath, she took off her trousers and shirt to reveal the swim diaper and bikini top underneath. She lay down, closed her eyes and soaked up the sunlight. Meanwhile, a little way up the beach, 2 14-year-old boys, also from Newcastle, were watching her. "Dude, have you seen that chick?" said Cody. "Ooh, Cody has a crush," teased Gabe, his best friend. "Yeah, actually, she is hot, but have you seen that swim diaper? This may sound weird, but I think it's kind of a turn on." Gabe grinned. Cody laughed. "Maybe we'll go talk to her later." Tara was enjoying the sun. She was very peaceful, lying there, but then 3 American 15-year-olds walked over for some trouble. "Oi! Little baby," one shouted at Tara. "Have you never grown up or something?" "Hey everyone, I found a retard," his cronies laughed. The bully continued. "You ought to go home and take a nap, we wouldn't want our little baby getting tired, would Dash." "Oi! Fuck off." Gabe was storming over to the scene. "You think you can mess with anyone? Well, piss off, you are the retard here." The bully was furious. "You want to fight, English boy? Don't go crying to your mummy when I turn your face inside out." The Coast Guard jumped into the fray, as did Cody. Cody pulled away Gabe and the Coast Guard pulled away the bully. "I don't want to see another thing here, you hear me? I'll have you all sent down to the station." Once everything cooled down, Gabe, Cody and Tara's parents rushed over to her. "Are you okay, sweetie?" Tara's mum exclaimed. Tara looked dazed. "Yeah. Fine. Good. Those bullies, those monsters." Cody and Gabe chatted. Gabe was wondering about wandering over to Tara and starting a conversation, but he was nervous. However, Cody persuaded him and he went over to Tara. "Hey," Gabe stuttered. "Hi. Those guys earlier. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for standing up to them." "No problem. So, what's your name?" "Tara." "Yours?" "Gabe." "So what's with the I lied to my parents. This is a punishment and on holiday as well." "Holiday? Where are you from?" "A place called Newcastle." "It's in England." "No way." "Me too." Tara laughed. "Awesome." She also noticed Gabe was moving closer to her. "Do you want to hang out sometime when we're back at home? My home phone is 2110944. This isn't a real phone number." "Yeah, sure. You can bring Cody over too, he was nice when those dickheads came. He made me feel better. But you know, I like you too. I like you a lot. I like you too." Gabe and Tara's lips began to come closer to each other, and after hesitation, they began to kiss. Cody, sitting not far away, grinned and whispered, "You're in there, man. You're in there." He had a girlfriend already, and thought it was good that Gabe had finally succeeded with a girl. Gabe was quite attractive, with brown hair and brown eyes, but Cody had all the girls in the year after him. Girls simply adored him. By this point, Tara had ended up lying on top of Gabe, kissing full on. They were already making it official. Tara had to leave for home, so the pair exchanged phone numbers and had a goodbye kiss. Cody grinned at Gabe and gave him a high five. "You did it, dude. You're SO in there." Gabe grinned and the pair set back off into their beach hotel to meet with Cody's mum, who had taken them on holiday. Gabe was absolutely buzzing. Tara was excited. The holiday had turned out better than she expected. A new boyfriend, who was on holiday from the same place as her, had really made her holiday. She lay in her bed, before drifting away to sleep. Tara and her parents were going home to Newcastle today. Buzzing but sad to reach the end of the holiday, burst out of bed, and then stopped, looked down, and gasped. Her diaper, dry when she went to bed, was wet, which could mean only one thing: she had wet herself during the night. She decided it might be stress and ignored it, but the thought continued to bug her throughout the day. She changed her diaper, put her pajamas and went down for breakfast. "So Tara, did you have a good sleep?" asked Tara's dad cheerily, his face peering over the top of a newspaper. "Yeah," she lied, "great. Good. Now go and pack your things, the flight is at 12. "Okay Dad," she said reluctantly. She had enjoyed the holiday and she had enjoyed wearing diapers, and knew that the diapers would have to go once she was home. She decided to put the spares from the packet she had in her bag in case she ever wanted them again, which was highly likely. As she boarded the taxi to the airport, she sighed, realizing just how much she was going to miss New York. She then asked her mum about the situation with the diapers. "Mum, do I have to wear these diapers until we get home or until the airport?" "Until we get home, we can't have another accident on the plane." Tara feigned disappointment. Her mum saw this and reassured her. "Don't worry, it's all going to be okay." When the family reached the airport, they were rushed through to the plane as quickly as possible as they were late. The traffic had been terrible. Once they were on, the gate closed almost immediately, and the plane announcements began. "We would like to bring your attention to a problem caused by blocked sewage, meaning that the rear lavatory will not be in service." "Thank you." Tara cracked a smile. She wouldn't have to move a muscle while the rest of the passengers would have to queue with their legs crossed over. Even as she thought this, she felt the need to pee, releasing it into the diaper with ease, a smile of pleasure across her face. The plane took off and she laid back and slept. By the time Tara woke, the plane was descending. As soon as she and her parents reached the airport, they grabbed their bags and got a taxi. They were all eager to get home. Tara sat in her room, gazing at the diapers in her hands. She got out her mini safe that she had got for her birthday and put the diapers inside before locking it shut. She was going out with her friends, but first she had a phone call to make. "Hey Gabe, it's Tara.